Good evening, people. This is Monday. We got some new content, and I wanted to keep it a little more serious this go round. I love being able to joke around with you and give you nice good memes, but let's kind of jump into it. So we all remember this. This trial just finished up. The Botham James thing. A young lady was found guilty of this heinous crime, and her whole thing was she walked into the wrong place, shot and killed the man, and expected to get away with it. She didn't. She's a police officer. Guess what? We've got another one. This young lady here, same circumstances per se. Someone came into her house, and shot and killed her. That someone was a police officer. Okay, quick background story. It's what happened was the neighbor called police because he saw the door open to the lady's house. So far, nothing wrong with that. The police comes in, immediately sees the woman and shoots. Didn't announce himself, because now that the body cam footage come out, we see that the officer is full of shit. He didn't announce himself. He just shot her. So a couple questions you have to ask is, why is he up in the house to begin with without announcing himself? He didn't knock on the door. He just came through. This is craziness, man. It's this beautiful young lady has lost her life because an officer is not only inadequately trained, but he's fearful for his life. Going into someone else's house, he's fearful for his life. Now, I've always said that police officers have a dangerous job. I agree with that totally. They're outnumbered and outgunned. But it's the type of job that if you are fearful, it's not something you should be doing at all. So the officer's name is Aaron Dean. And just reading some of the articles, the dude has now resigned. But if he didn't resign, he would have been fired. So understand, by resigning, he reserves the capacity to get hired somewhere else. Unless he's brought up on trial and they found him guilty and he goes to jail, he has the capacity. Listen how this sounds. He shot and killed a person in their own house. He resigns. They don't find him guilty. And he has the capacity to go get hired somewhere else. And for all that sounds crazy. So as soon as he resigned and trying to make his thing, of course, the bullshit comes out. So they come out with this picture here that shows a gun. As you can see, it's heavily edited and everything around it is blurry. So they're going to try to smear the lady. Even if she had a gun, she's in her own house. She's allowed to have a gun. She's allowed to walk down the stairs and see who's walking in her house. I'm telling you, he'd probably caught a shotgun if I hear somebody downstairs and I know everybody's upstairs sleeping. You in my house. How you gonna fear for your life in my house? So as they begin the smear campaign and try to say blase, whatever the hell they be saying all the time, people are fighting back. It doesn't matter. if there's a gun in the house. Then you give us a heavily doctored photo of a gun being in the house. Does it remind you of anything else? When they gave us heavily doctored information concerning this case right here with Botham, then suspiciously the main witness for this case is dead. That's how they like to do it. That's how they like to try to intimidate us into not testifying and to not going after them for killing us. So the department seems, I'm not going to say it's the best run, but they're definitely trying to cover their ass for killing this young lady here. And they've turned this case over to, or asking for a preliminary case from the FBI to review this officer's actions to see if it's in any violation of any civil rights. This dude should be arrested for murder, regardless of a civil rights violation. Black people aren't out to be treated specially. We just want to be treated equally. Had he killed anybody else, why would you? It'd be murder. They'd be looking for murder. The dude would be charged with murder. Does it have to be a special case because the person is black? If you treated it equal, look, man, this is upsetting because they killing us, and now they killing us in our own homes. First they killing us on the street, now they walking up in houses and shooting, and that's crazy, and it's a shame. If this, I will continue to follow this case, but if this guy does not go up for murder, if the prosecution fucks this up, you know that they're doing this on purpose. But at the core of it, we need to start putting more black officers outside of black cities on the streets. Encourage your children to be officers of the law so that we can police our own. Encourage your children to be emergency medical technicians, to do those behind the scene jobs that actually have more power over our lives than entertainers. EMTs are refusing to go to black neighborhoods. What's the biggest joke there's always been? If you talk 911, you're in a black neighborhood, how long is it going to take the cops to show up? It is the cops are only bad because they've never been us. At this time, there should not be such a disparity between having black officers in communities all over. Always talking about brothers, always talking about they ain't got a job. There's nothing to do. Half of them have no criminal records, so they end up going out doing something criminal. Come on, at 18, your kid should be having something to do to get up out the house. And one of the things he can do to get up out the house is police the neighborhood that he's in. In that way, then it becomes we can only blame ourselves. Would a black man have walked up in here and shot this woman like she was shot? That much fear that within 4 seconds, he killed this lady. And all that's going to go out is thoughts and prayers. It's time for action, people. But it's time for action that's going to make the long-term difference in black communities. It's time for the type of action that is generational. There is nothing wrong with being a police officer in your neighborhood. The whole don't snitch, don't talk to the cops, because you have people not from our neighborhoods policing our neighborhoods. It's been generations now. Why don't we have our own people policing our neighborhoods? I will continue to watch over this case. I will continue to follow what's going on, and we will continue to see what they're going to do. Right now, our hearts go out to this young lady and her family. We wish them justice and hope that these criminal police officers are thrown in jail. That's it for today. This just came up. It's been ongoing for a couple of days now, and I just wanted to touch on it. But our anger has to have a solution. We can't just be out here angry. We have to have a solution. So keep that in mind. I wish everybody a happy week. Starting on Monday. I hope Monday wasn't too bad for you. I wish your week proceeds apace. I hope you're happy. And I'll talk to you later.